What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be showing you my controller settings that I use for heroes like Psylocke, Punisher, basically anybody that you need to aim with, and my new sensitivity curve. And let me tell you something, this sensitivity curve that I've kind of tweaked about with is so good for aiming. And genuinely, no matter what sensitivity that you use, try this curve out, and I can tell you, once you get used to it, it feels so good to aim with. Definitely watch till the end of the video because I'm going to show you a secret method which allows you to fully abuse the aim assist in Marvel Rivals. So essentially what I use is I use a 500 sensitivity. Basically this is all personal preference, right? So you don't have to use 500 sensitivity if you're not comfortable with it. If you want to learn how to use it, I'd recommend bumping up your sensitivity by like 100 every day and trying to get used to it kind of slowly over time. Or you can just go straight to 500 and, I don't know, just brute force your way into learning the sense. But yeah, I've always used very high sensitivities in games. And I find that 500 is just perfect for me. So this is why we're all here, right? The new S curve. This, oh my god, it feels so good. It feels so good to aim with these settings. So it's 25, 70, 32, and 67. Essentially, what this does is it mimics the curve that's inside of COD. And it makes aiming feel so nice. In my opinion, obviously, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but just give it a try, see if you like it. But it basically allows you to, be fast while also having a very nice amount of accuracy. You can slow down, you can smoothen your aim, and still have that kind of like, if you want to flick from one person to the other like that, where you're actually kind of like moving quite fast. It basically allows for everything, so it's really good for smooth tracking heroes. So for example, your Punisher and stuff like that, having heroes where you can smoothen your aim when they're extremely far away, but also snap to other places. So it's a great balance between those two things, which is very important for a game like Marvel Rivals, just because obviously it's a very fast-paced hero shooter. So having that kind of versatility in your settings allows you to make a lot more plays, allows you to be a lot more reactive to your surroundings as well. If a Black Panther dives your backline, you can immediately do a 180 and start shooting at them, instead of taking like 5 years to turn, which I've seen a lot of people, they use very low sensitivity. So that's why I like the 500, just because it's a good, just because it's fast, and then obviously as well the curve allows me to have that accuracy. So definitely give this curve a try. The 25, 70, 32, 67. It does look kind of, it's closer to linear than it is to like an actual S curve. But it's what makes it so nice to aim with. It's a great balance between both. And then for my Deadzone settings, I use 0 and everything. It's not a joke. I basically just have quite a new controller. So when I start getting bad drift, I'm going to bump this up to like maybe 2 or 3, the minimum input Deadzone. So for aim assist, I use 25 window size and everything else at 100. The reason why I use 25 window size is basically because the bubble of aim assist that you get around characters in this game is so huge. I find it hurts your aim. Like, it makes it very slow. So you can't exactly target switch very well. And if you're playing in lobbies where they're playing quite close together as well, you'll find yourself just not being able to move freely between targets. Like if there's someone on the other team who's like one shot and you need to quickly move to them, but they've got like 4 other people standing next to them, it's going to take you a very long time to move your crosshair over to them. And that's why the 25 is great, because it still gives you a small bubble around them. The bubble's around about that size. It's still not exactly on the target. You've got a little bit of a small area around them, but it just allows you to have that kind of snappier feel to your aim while also not sacrificing too much of your accuracy. So that's why, that's the name of the game here, is just, kind of finding that balance. So for my character movement input Deadzone, I use 5 and 0, right? So there's a reason for this. Basically, having these settings at the lowest that they can possibly be will allow you to abuse what's called rotational aim assist. So when you move when you move your right stick, you get the aim assist over the characters, but also when you move your left stick, you also get the aim assist. So I'm not moving my right stick at all, my aim stick, I'm just moving, and I still get aim assist. What you can do is, if you set this all the way down to 0 and 5, you can basically trick the game into thinking that you're moving at all times because of the small amount of drift, even if you're standing still. So essentially, you can see that the game's actually moving the crosshair for me. I'm not touching my controller at all right now, and it gives you a small amount of pull when you're just standing still. So it basically means that your rotational aim assist is always active. And what this does is it gives you a little bit of an advantage. You know, it's a little bit stronger, but the pull is there, and you can definitely notice it when aiming. It's pretty decent actually, especially at long range. You know, where you can kind of see the crosshair move a lot further. But that's essentially what it is. It's a trick that people have been abusing in games for a long time. I found out about this from my COD days, where I used to play a lot of Warzone and stuff like that, and it's really strong in Warzone, and it still is to this day. So if you do play that game, you can try it out in Warzone. However, in this game, the rotational aim assist isn't as strong, so you don't really have to worry about this. It's not like game breaking this, but it's just a nice little thing, you know, where you've got a little boost of rotational aim assist as well. I find it helps. So then for my crosshair settings, what I like to use the X crosshair. All the settings are here. So it's a 7 width, outline width of 64, outline opacity of 100, sensor gap of 0, a crosshair length of 10, and a crosshair angle of 45. Then obviously the color blue. And that's pretty much it really. I mean, those were my kind of curve settings. A lot of people were asking for them. But yeah, I highly recommend giving this curve a try. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.